Hey, comic book fans, Kevin Gibbon with you once again, talking about the latest in comic books and pop culture. I've started a new show which will review bad movies and television. Don't make me watch that! I have two franchises myself now, Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter and Adolescent Radioactive Samurai Platypi. Check the links below for the current trade paperback Dracula Rising, and check out the t-shirts available on Teespring. Like the Facebook pages for each franchise to stay informed on the future of each. And now let's get on with the show. Let me start by saying that I am a huge Star Trek The Original Series fan. I've been watching the show since I was 6 years old, and I still regard it as one of the best shows ever produced. It took more than 20 years for televised sci-fi to match the quality of writing on that show. But for every city on the edge of forever, there's a turkey or two, especially during the third season. People always ask me what my least favorite episode of Star Trek is, and I have to go with That Which Survives. Now, most people would say Spock's brain is their least favorite, but that show is at least entertaining and unintentionally funny. It's almost a parody of Star Trek. What would happen if Ed Wood had ever made a Star Trek episode? We get a strange little dance from William Shatner when they're in pain. And as the pain devices fall, our heroes, plus a remote-controlled Spock, who saves the day by your command. Whoops, wrong sci-fi show.
You must not take the controller away. We will all die.
And at the end, when Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy puts Spock's brain back in his head with verbal assistance from Spock himself, believe it or not, the pointed-eared Vulcan sits straight up on his bed without a hair out of place. Yes, most people who have brain surgery probably sleep for several hours, but not the Vulcan. And they could have at least bandaged his head to make it look like he just had brain surgery, but no. Can't do that. So I got quite a few laughs out of this episode, and it wasn't boring. Now we come to the episode in question, and it is boring, wasting two talented guest stars in the persons of Julie Newmar. Nah, just kidding, all you Adam West Batman fans out there. Yeah, I know you're cringing right about now. That's not Julie Newmar. Her Star Trek episode was Friday's Child. This is Catwoman from the movie, Lee Merriweather.
I say it's crazy.
You know, it's funny, Eartha Kitt never did a Star Trek. They also wasted guest star Booker Bradshaw, who played Dr. Mbenga in 2 episodes. The other was A Private Little War. His sole purpose in this episode is to dump exposition as McCoy is lost in space with Kirk, Sulu, and D'Amato. In order to review this show, I had to watch it 3 times. Now I know what the poor souls on Mystery Science Theater 3000 felt like. Anyway, this show begins as the Enterprise is approaching the planet which Spock knows everything about again. The landing party beams down, and suddenly, somehow, a woman appears named Lucira. She tells the landing party not to go, but then, as they're beaming, she happens to kill the very person that can prevent them from going, the transporter chief.
Wait, you must not go.
So the crew are beaming down, and as soon as they arrive, the planet and the Enterprise both start shaking. Now, a nice touch here is that instead of just shaking the camera, as they always do to convey a planet shaking, they shook the entire set. That's kind of a different take, I guess. Made it a little bit watchable. Well, that scene anyway. When everyone comes to the nameless female Chekhov replacement, I guess Chekhov was on vacation that week, notes that the planet is now gone. But Spock, being the incredible genius he is, deducts that the Enterprise has been flung light years away. The landing party checks their tricorders and realize that the Enterprise has vanished. End of teaser, cut to credits. Now, who could have written this monstrous episode? Maybe they should have got the writer of Charlie X or Tomorrow is Yesterday. Maybe Journey to Babel or Friday's Child. Also, the Enterprise Incident. All well-done shows. That writer would have done this show justice. You know, the awesome D.C. Fontana. She definitely could have done a better job than this hack. Couldn't she? Sorry to inform you guys, but D.C. Fontana did write this episode. But, says the casual Star Trek fan who doesn't know as much about the series as I do, the story is credited to Michael Richards.
Self-employed. He's, I don't know, 6'3", 190 pounds.
Not that Michael Richards. With a teleplay by John Meredith Lucas. That's right, D.C. Fontana used a pseudonym. She would use the same pseudonym when she wrote The Way to Eden. Apparently, she didn't like what Lucas did to her story and insisted on using a pseudonym, which, trivia fans, is an amalgam of her 2 brothers' names. Anyway, on with my review. First, I want to talk about what I did like about this episode, which isn't much. The banter between Spock and Scotty was nice, if limited. Banter like that on other episodes, but it wasn't as much as here. and very few episodes have that kind of banter between Spock and Scotty. It was also good to see Mbenga again, even if it was just as inserts between scenes when exposition was needed. Also, some other crew members that we've never seen, even if most of them die. D'Amato was an interesting character, even if he only appeared in this episode. And now on with the review of the show. What I didn't like. Losira herself has been dead for thousands of years. What appeared on the Enterprise and killed the transporter chief was some kind of android of Losira. Kirk sends the landing party on different missions, alone. That can only mean that this is done to put them in danger. And on cue, Losira appears to D'Amato. Look, I'm Lieutenant D'Amato. I'm not wearing red, so I'm not going to die. Oops. After this episode dances between the Enterprise trying to find the planet and the landing party avoiding Losira. At one point, Losira kills Scotty's assistant, Watkins, on the Enterprise without any explanation whatsoever.
I am for you, Mr. Watkins.
Why would she kill that crewman and no one else? Why wouldn't she kill Scotty? Oh, that's right, he's a regular on the series. Couldn't do that. And now, a pretty girl wants to touch George Takei.
I want to touch you.
Oh no, stay away, no, woman, please. Captain, a woman wants to touch me. No, 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 it burns. But with George Takei, it would be more like this. Oh no, stay away. No women, please. Captain, a woman wants to touch me.
I am a heterosexual. I love vaginas.
Anyway, you get the point. I just found it a little comical that George Takei would avoid the touch of a pretty girl. Then Losira touches Captain Kirk, but nothing happens. Later, 3 Losiras appear, one for each of the landing party. Then we waste time watching them avoid that particular version of Losira that was for them. For you see, the one android can only touch one character for some reason. Avoiding the touch of a beautiful girl. Shielding the crew member that Losira was for. Great action and excitement. Not. Yeah, more bouncing back and forth between the Enterprise trying to get back to the planet, including Scotty having to play around in the Jeffries tube in an effort to try to build tension. After many boring minutes, we come to that episode's climax as the Enterprise finds the planet and aids the landing party. We enter the planet's main computer room. Here, we could have had another prime scene where Kirk talks a computer to death, out-logicking that computer.
You are the creator.
You're wrong. Jackson Roy Kirk, your creator, is dead. You have mistaken me for him. You are in error. You did not discover your mistake. You have made 2 errors. You are flawed and imperfect. And you have not corrected by sterilization. You have made 3 errors.
Error. Error.
Now listen to this carefully, Norman. I am lying.
You say you are lying, but if everything you say is a lie, then you are telling the truth. But you cannot tell the truth because everything you say is a lie. But you lie, you tell the truth, but you cannot, for you lie. Illogical. Illogical. Please explain. You are human. Only humans can explain their behavior. Please explain.
I am not programmed to respond in that area.
Yes, a planet whose defensive system had been running on autopilot for thousands of years and is still capable of making androids of Losira, and rather quickly, evidently, can be destroyed with a single phaser blast, rendering this episode ending so anticlimactic. So many plot holes, and obvious ones too. Why did they need separate androids for each crew member? Why didn't Losira just destroy the Enterprise, which she seemed perfectly capable of doing? If she is actually so against killing, then why did she sabotage the Enterprise? I could go on, but I'm tired of talking about this episode. So dull, so eventless, and bad dialogue too. How can such people be, Captain? Such evil, and she's so beautiful. Yeah. Star Trek at its best was thought-provoking science fiction, which was far ahead of its time. But by the time of the 3rd season, the network obviously wanted it to die, and they brought in Fred Freeberger to destroy it, a producer with a reputation of killing successful shows. The worst episodes were almost parodies of this once fine series and showed up during the 3rd season. Anyway, that was my review of That Which Survives. 1.5 stars for this lame effort. Not much good to say for for this travesty. If you like my show, please subscribe to my channel, share this post, and ring the bell to stay informed for my next video. I have 2 franchises myself now, Carl Vincent, Vampire Hunter, and Adolescent Radioactive Samurai Platypi. Check the links below for the current trade paperback, Dracula Rising, and check out the t-shirts available on Teespring. Like the Facebook pages for each franchise to stay informed on the future of each. Until then, this is Kevin Gibbon saying so long, and we'll be back with another episode soon. Keep watching, keep reading comics, and have a good day.